Welcome to Bloom with Bobby, where women from all walks of life share their story. And parts of that story is compared to a particular blooming flower. I'm Bobby Hobson, and my guest today is licensed married and family therapist Kiki Taliaferro. And I hope I have that correct. Welcome, Kiki.
Thank you, Miss Bobby. It's Taliaferro, but that's okay.
Say it again.
Taliaferro.
Taliaferro.
Yes.
Oh, I really messed it up.
That's okay.
Wow. Well, thank God I only have to say Kiki the rest of
Right.
the show. Um, what we ask our guests to do is to identify a particular flower. And Kiki has identified the petunia. And I had to look it up because I really wasn't familiar with the petunia, but I have my visual aid. And here it is. It is
That's
very
right.
pretty.
That's it.
Comes in a variety of colors, not just the lavender and purple. So, Kiki, tell us why you chose the petunia.
Okay. So I'm not really familiar with flowers. So once I, kind of did a little bit of research, I thought I was going to choose a larger flower, but the petunia stood out to me because it's smaller in stature, like myself. But the petunia, it pops when it's hanging from up high and cascading down, or as a seasonal grounds cover for me, which represented the different experiences that I've had where when I've been doing well and people were able to take notice, and I was blooming and flourishing from up high, but also being able to bloom and flourish through at some of my lowest points. The petunia also, it has a slight fragrance. It's not ostentatious, but it's enough to catch your attention. And so for me, it's how I am. I don't prefer the spotlight, but there are people that take notice of things, of my actions and my behavior. And also the petunia is, what I found out about the petunia is it thrives in sun, and in any type of soil, and it's a transplant. And for me, that's who I am. I thrive on positivity even when things are just not going well in my life, and just try to remain positive. And I've been in different places and situations, especially coming from a military family, and I felt like I've always been a transplant, but I've been able to, with the help and grace of God, just get through and just flourish. So that's why I chose the petunia.
That is awesome. Now, you and I met several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I noticed about you is how grounded you are. You're very unpretentious. You're willing to help. Not only were you're like that, but your daughter also. She didn't say, I'm going to go and get a milkshake while you do this work.
Yeah.
And I just love it about you. And I know that it's coming from a place.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't just happen.
Yeah.
There are people, I'm sure, that have impacted your life. So I want to know who has impacted your life from your early years, your teenage years, and your adult years. Tell me about some of those people.
Okay. So, Miss Bobby, you meet so many different people, as on your journey. One particular person that stands out is a counselor. Her name was Edith Burnett Johnson when I was in middle school. And I was going through a difficult time. My mother and we were just I was at a difficult stage of my life. And she was doing counseling. Miss Johnson was doing counseling, group counseling at the middle school. And then she also took me under her wing and did individual counseling. And she listened to me without judgment. She listened to my mom. She was a resource for us, a positive outlet. And she was fly too. She didn't look like textbook counselor. She was a strong African-American woman. She was someone that I could relate to. And she was just amazing. And that always stuck with me, how she helped me. So she's one person, but the main person, I was reflecting, and And I was like, the person that stands out to me is my mom. My mom is the person who embodies like all of the strength, the compassion, the resiliency, along with other things that, that she instilled in me, which has been my foundation. I was raised in church when I was 7, and I watched my mom just give back, give her last, and really help people. And that's what that always stood with me, that stuck with me. And so that's why those are the two people that really impacted me. And really, it's been my mom throughout my life. So,
I know your mom, and everything you have said about her, I experienced the same thing from her. She's such a giver, such a role model. And I really love her. And just so the audience can know, she is a member of the board of directors of a nonprofit that I founded. And she is a wonderful lady to know, to love, and to be around. Now, that leads me back to, how did you become a therapist? Tell me about that journey.
Yeah. So, there were experiences in my life, Miss Bobby, where I felt alone. I felt invisible. When I needed someone to advocate for me, there wasn't anyone there. And it wasn't because I didn't have my mom or my dad. They were just, I've always been separated from them by distance. And so when I needed people or went through things, it was just difficult. And I felt alone. And I didn't feel supported. And when I needed resources or I needed information, I had to really, really do it on my own. And so I never wanted anyone to feel like that. I have always wanted to help people. That's what has always made me feel fulfilled, when I've been able to help someone, no matter what it is. So that's what it took me some time to figure out what it was, or even my purpose. Like, I feel like this is my purpose. I feel like I'm living in it. So I knew it was something in my spirit that I felt once I figured it out, that this is the work that I was supposed to be doing.
Wow. That is really awesome. I know I'm just saying, but it really is. Now that you have, with all of your background, your skills, your expertise, your life experiences, how are you? I know you're giving it back in your work, but does it spill over into other areas, other community people? How are you handling that?
Yeah. I do, in my current job, I do community work. And so, all throughout my work and my internships leading up to this point in the work, there's so much trauma, there's so much healing that needs to take place. And so I find myself contributing to that healing process, but also helping them to navigate, to find resources, to access resources. Sometimes life is just overwhelming because of everything that they're dealing with. They don't know which way to go. Sometimes they're afraid to ask questions and afraid to speak up for themselves. And that's where I'm going to help you do that. And I remember when I was in grad school, I had a professor tell me, you have to learn how to advocate for yourself before you can help someone advocate. You can advocate for someone else. And that's something that really stuck with me. And so I've learned over the years, like, I'm going to fight for me and my daughter and my family, but also the people that I encounter that need help. So I find that that's how I'm helping people, but also other people that are on this journey, being able to provide them with information and resources to help their journey be a little bit easier, things that I didn't know, things I didn't know how to do or what to do to get my hours quicker, or just different experiences I'm able to share with someone else, because I am a firm believer that we need to help each other so that it can be, easier for someone else share the knowledge, because it's not that someone's going to take what's yours, because everybody's on their own path, but we help someone else and things can just continue to get better. So
yeah, well, you have the right temperament, and the times that we're living in now, let me tell you, you are needed for such a time as this. because what I see families go through, and you see a lot more than I do. So God bless you. I am so happy that God chose you for this path.
Thank
Now, I want to
you.
go back a little bit and ask you, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh, um, I would tell my younger self to live in your truth, be authentic. Um, don't be afraid to explore your passions and to enjoy life and to seek counsel from the wise and connect with people that's going to help you get to that next level in your life.
Yeah,
Those are things that I learned the hard way, but I'm still learning. There's always room for growth. So,
always
yes,
room for growth.
yes.
Well, now that you are a therapist,
Hmm.
where do you see yourself going from there? What does Kiki go from there?
Yeah. Um, I've been thinking I think a lot about this, Miss Bobby, because I feel like I'm getting a late start. But that's okay because I'm where I'm supposed to be. So I know that I want to continue to contribute to that healing. I know there's a lack of resources out there or people being able to access resources. So I want to be able to, connect with people that are doing the work and just be an agent of change. Um, and not just at a little level, but at a bigger level. And I don't know what that looks like right now, but I want to be like, what's the civil rights activist? Was it John Lewis?
Yes, he was.
Okay. I want to be like him, like good trouble, advocating for people and really getting out there and doing the work. So,
Yeah. Well, you are the right person. I pray for the best for you, that God
thank
keeps
you.
you, He sustains you to do
Thank
the
you.
work that He has called you to do.
Thank
Well,
you.
Kiki, thank you so much for being on Bloom with Bobby today.
Thank you for having me, Miss Bobby. I appreciate you.
Oh, you are welcome. And thank you for watching.
Thank
We upload new content every Saturday, and I encourage you and I invite you to continue to watch and tune in to Bloom with Bobby, because others, their testimonies and their stories, I am sure, will make a difference and cause someone else's story to end well. Be blessed.
you.